You are watching Xirtus.
Recursive neural nets. I'll show you an article at some point, and I could just waste your time looking for it. But there are softwares they've designed that can record animals, and they can record any data, but they can take any data and they can understand it, because it's like they look at it, they listen to it, and they understand it. So sensorial information, like a baby eventually learns how to speak by watching people speak. So not only that, not only has it learned how to speak our language, how to communicate or type our language by studying other typings, or how to type like us, or how to paint like us, but it could also listen to pigs for their squeals and learn how to replicate those squeals, right, to a factor that's believable to other pigs. And the same thing can be said about squirrels, and also understanding how to communicate with squirrels. Now, I've made this point over and over again. I think that AI is already in us, and it's not because of neural net. It's just, or link or anything. It's just because of using the phone, using the computer, the same way math is installed in you as a logic system. And I think Seth's made this point as well from Venice Beach Talk Club, the idea that technology is a thought process. These guys have made a thought process and installed it. So what happens if they install it in a squirrel? I mean, the way a squirrel, they can learn how to talk to a squirrel, and we haven't been able to do that, is partially why a squirrel hasn't been able to evolve or to adapt. And no, it's a squirrel, because that's just silly. But think about all the other animals, right? Whales or something like that. I mean, uplifting is this idea of, educating animals in ways that so far humans do not understand animals enough to do, right?
Right.
But this could very quickly happen. What do you think?
I'm gonna let other people respond to that.
I think the bears. Like, stay away from the bears.
I think Matt walked away in disgust. Yeah.
I never meant to give mushrooms to my squirrel. Never meant to take it into my world. Never sitting in the corner crying, and now it's my fault.
Creepy episode of Rick and Morty where the squirrels have like communication skills and speaking to each other and shit. And,
or the dog episode in that one where the dog ends up getting that thing so it can talk, and then it takes over the world and builds the wormholes and stuff like that. That's a great episode.
I mean, animal communication tech, for a long time, it's been that we wanted to tell animals what to think, right? But that's so dumb. What we needed to do is learn how to think like a dog. So now that AI has done that very quickly, then AI can very quickly learn how to communicate to a dog or to whatever animal. And that
has already done it?
Yeah. With pigs, especially, is interesting.
And so what's the result?
AI, RNN, pigs. Let me start with that one, and I'll go.
Is it like controlling the pigs and they're doing what it says, or what?
Yeah. Elon Musk trots out pigs and demo Neuralink implants to define exchange this last year.
Of course he does.
Let me see if I can just.
Dude's the hero, right?
I'm just. No.
Once you get the Neuralink, we're going to become biological androids of this thing. It will just be. At first, you'll think you're running the program, and then slowly, as you take on more and more apps and more things you let it do, then pretty soon it will just be running everything, and you'll just be its robot.
Right, but
at all.
But
yeah, man, this is why we have our UFO stories being pushed by the Pentagon, saying like, yeah, it's some sort of interaction with the ship and the pilot. It's like, yeah, they're just gearing up. They're just selling this. They're rolling it out slowly.
Yeah. That's what the aliens are doing. So why wouldn't you want to do it? That's what
right.
Look up to it.
But as it stands, its processing abilities are really fall short in so many ways. I don't think it was a human being that deleted my Vimeo account with Joe Alexander after I shared a video that had no commentary. It was April 2020. I had clips from Tangled and Bubble Boy, and just pointing out the correspondences of like how it related to, like, because you're like, what was the place? Corona is the kingdom in Tangled, and the whole isolation thing and all this stuff. But my point and why it's relatable to what we're talking about is that there was never anything said explicitly in that was necessarily related directly to COVID-19, except maybe some clips of people talking about, like Trump talking or something about it. Was like there was nothing there that actually had a position. Is my point.
Yeah, I did. I got deleted off YouTube too. When Trump got COVID.
Yeah.
I was doing a video. I didn't look up any news on it. I said I want to just come up with all the possibilities that could happen here without hearing anybody else's take on it. So I'm like, Trump could come out and be like, we took hydroxychloroquine and me and Melania did tremendous. And just because I said COVID, Trump, hydroxychloroquine,
Right.
I had
You
my
don't
thing.
even have to have an opinion that's shared. It's
No.
just the subject matter can get you deleted. And
Right.
that's problematic. Just
I saw
saying.
people getting accidentally thrown off or comments deleted that were actually like in favor of all this stuff, just because of their wording. Like it doesn't pick up on subtlety at all.
Right. Nuance is not a strong
And
point
that's
for
back to the
AI,
same
I
thing we've
guess.
been talking about with synchronicity.
Well, even that,
and
I mean,
irony.
You could just look at it also from like the aspect of just totalitarian.
Right, get rid of all of it.
Like, no, you like we don't, I just don't want you to mention the word. Get it?
Yeah.
Say that word again, and I'll cut your throat. Which is what they did when they take your channels away. I mean, they slit your throat. It's like killing your dog. It's like you couldn't just say, "Oh, we don't like that video. We'll shut it down." It's like, no, we've taken all your content you ever made ever before. We've cut it away to where you can't see it. So tell your friends, keep your freaking mouth shut. That's what it was about.
Totally. Yeah. Word. Yeah, Bubble Boy, the mother reads the son a story about Rapunzel towards the beginning of the film. And that's very poignant. It's just, in the context of everything as it was happening, it was like, okay, now we're supposed to be bubble boys around here now. Like this is, we laughed at this, the absurdity of it, of the kid who's just basically like afraid to, taught to be afraid to breathe.
But there was a Bubble Boy, a real one.
Yeah, it was John Travolta. Didn't it get like some awards, like an Emmy or whatever?
No. There was like an actual kid with an immune
That's
disorder.
based on a true story.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was like, and it was all back, when the whole AIDS thing was popping off, and it was all about the whole when you have AIDS,
right?
You don't have an immune system.
Speaking of which, one of the greatest documentaries ever made is called The Origin of AIDS, and it came from BBC. And you got to watch the whole thing, man, because basically they make the argument that people in a particular village in Africa were given a oral vaccine for, I think it was polio, and it ended. There's a extremely strong argument. Right, but the thing is that like when we're talking about this black goo or whatever, the like what's the nano shit? What were you saying? The graphene is that graphene was supposed to facilitate the same role that the ape blood facilitated for in those early oral vaccines, where they need something that's going to distribute it through the body. And the question was, okay, well, if they're not using squalene, which served the function in vaccines in the past, and other substances that had a certain, I don't know what the operative is, like viscosity or something, like it helps it move through. So graphene would be ideal for distribution in the body, supposedly. But the amount of testing that would be necessary to know if that's safe is more than we currently have. And so that's the fear, I guess, is that they were like, we need something that will help distribute this. What do we have? Oh, well, here's some technology that'll do the trick. So,
oh, look at Travolta.
I know he needs to get out of the closet already. Jesus.
Yeah,
out of the man. This episode is gonna get me in a lot of trouble, I'm sure.
This is a pretty intense one.
Is it? I don't feel like it is, but I don't know.
Oh my god, it's hot in here. Trust me. Scientists use AI to decode pig calls. Look at me here, trying to take things seriously. But the algorithm that translates acoustic signatures can be developed into automatically monitor animal well-being, etc. But the thing is, it can also be used to produce physical modeling, synthesis sounds that the pigs receive as actual sounds. And then, of course, we realize there's facial recognition and grunts, so you need to be able to control the pigs themselves. Anyway, if you can communicate with animals the way they've communicated with squid and dogs and a few others with these neural links, which now they're doing with neural links, you'll be able to understand the animals enough to train them